Hey, so right now I'm slowly getting my grips onto playing with demons in 9th Age. And the demon book is a really interesting book. It has a lot of interesting options and ways to build your army. The choices, they have all kinds of weird names, and they are still based on the legacy armies that people have from the Games Workshop days. So basically nearly every choice can be backtracked to a Games Workshop old model counterpart. And I guess for a lot of people, the new names don't make a lot of sense, but if you backtrack them to the old names, then they have at least an idea of what their function should be in the army. So this is what this video is about. I'm just gonna go through the choices in the demon book. I believe I have about all of them here, with some pictures to give you an idea of what the choices were before. So yeah, without much ado, let's get into it. So what is demons without their old and trusted bloodthirster? The bloodthirster is again in the book. Now it's renamed to Vanadra's Scourge. And yeah, these corn models, they're all still in the book. So the next choices are going to be the Titan Slayer Chariot, which used to be this bloodletter mounted cannon, and the Myrmidons are then the old bloodletters. So you can see it also from the profile. They still have, well, they have one attack now only, but they still have their strength 5. They are still relatively agile. They mostly focus on bringing down the big boys and focused on strength. And the Titan Slayer Chariot is still focused on removing gigantic pieces from your opponent from the field, even though shooting was a big no for the book, I believe. So it's not possible to use him as a cannon anymore. Then for the Hellhounds and the Brazen Beasts, well, the Fleshhounds are the Hellhounds now, which is quite a simple transition. And the Brazen Beasts, they are large cavalry. I believe these Kakadan, or these Blood Crushers, as they were called, they used to have a very good armor save, like 2+ or even 1+. The new Daemon Legions in 9th Age, they don't have any armor at all in the army, except for on some greater demon choices and 1 or 2 chariots. But yeah, these are the Hellhounds and the Brazen Beasts. And then we go to what used to be Knurgle. So there's the Maw of Akan. He is a gigantic beast on a gigantic base. This immediately points towards the old Great Unclean One. And Dominion of Gluttony is really fitting with that. Yeah, and about these dominions, this also means that you can only get the Dominion of Gluttony and the just general Father Chaos upgrades, manifestations. Then we have the Dark Pulpit, which is a mount for a character. I think this is supposed to be something like what this Epidemius character was mounted on back in the day, but now it has been universally made applicable for any character, basically. So just to open up the choices in types of models that you can have. And this is a bit of a strange one. Kulima's Deceiver, I don't think there used to be a model for this, but it's just a standard beast, or, well, infantry model on a 25mm base. The Miser of Succubi, I don't know if there is a dedicated model in workshop days, Games Workshop days for this. But I could understand it if it is the choice for the Glotkin models, even though maybe the Glotkin models only came after the demons were being developed. So I'm not really sure about this one. But I could imagine that this model is quite fitting for the Miser of Succubi if you manage to get him on a 50 by 100mm base. Then otherwise we have the Mage blight gremlins, which are of course the Nurglings, just standard beasts, can be stomped, just have a lot of wounds per base, have a lot of attacks per base, have poison and strength 2. They still have their hard target from back in the day when they had Cloud of Flies. The Lemurs are the old Plague Bearers with just 1 attack at strength 3 now and 1 HP with resilience 5 and parry. So they are still quite a tough bunch to deal with. They don't have regeneration anymore, but maybe there's a way to. I have not really looked into the Knurgle playstyle for this book because I'm not that interested in it, and I don't have any models for the Mage, blight, gremlins, and I also don't have any. I don't have a lot of Knurgle based models, I think. Then we continue with the Hoarders and the bloatflies. So the Hoarders, I don't believe there's any official model from Games Workshop that would. They are like the monstrous infantry for Nurgle. They used to be like plague beasts. These are Forge World plague toads. So the models were definitely there, but I'm not that sure on the rules. But now they are Hoarders, and yeah, they just grind away. And otherwise we have the bloatflies. So they used to be already these models with the plague bearers on top of just big flies on 50 by 75 millimeter basis, and these are the choices for that. Then we continue with what used to be Slaanesh. So we have the Courtesan of Siberash, who has advanced 9, March 18, has a high agility, and seems to be the model that used to be the Keeper of Secrets. Then we have the Omen of Vart. This is a bit of a tricky model. It has still decent agility. It still has advanced 6, March 18, so I would align this with the old Slaanesh. Even though there's obviously now 7 different marks that you can choose from instead of the 4 old ones. But Games Workshop also released a beautiful model, I think, to represent this model, which you can see here. It's quite gruesome, but I really like it. But yeah, with 9 dates you can use basically any model that you like for just to represent anything. But just keep in mind that it's a standard beast with a 50 millimeter base. Also here I put the Harbinger of Father Chaos choice. This is mostly just a generic hero choice, so this covers all of the different heralds that you used to have in the day. Then we have the Succubi and the Threshing engine. The Succubi are the old demonettes with 3 attacks each, with +1 to hit against standard or large infantry and ignore parries, so they really hit well, and then they just have to struggle with wounding. And the Threshing engine just covers all kinds of chariots, basically. So you have the small chariot of Slaanesh, the big chariot of Slaanesh, the huge chariot of Slaanesh. All of these different ones. They all have resilience 4. They just differ in the amount of wounds that you get. But they're all these different types of chariots. The Sirens are also still in the book. So these are the mounted demonettes, basically. I think they were actually just called mounted demonettes. And the Clawed Fiends are the Fiends of Slaanesh, if I remember correctly. These choices are easy to pinpoint with a high movement, low resilience, and attacks at low strength, yet still they can do quite a lot of damage. We have the Sentinel of Nikuya, which used to be, I believe, the wizard version, or the magic line of the book. So that agrees with Siege. We have the Burning Wheel, which used to be the Siege Sky Wheel disc thing. Here we also have a Throne of Overwhelming Splendor. I found a picture of a Siege character on a chariot, so I thought that might be what they were aiming for. We have some more hero mount options, but these kind of speak for themselves. We also have Imps, which used to be the Horrors. We used to have the blue and the pink Horrors, but now we just have Imps. And we have Eidolons. Eidolons are the old Flamers of Siege, being skirmishers, having shots, being able to scout if you want to. And finally, we have the Veil Serpents. So these are models that move only very slowly on the ground. They are large beasts, and they fly, so they're easily affiliated with the old Screamers of Siege. They have Wizard Conclave now, which is I think really cool. And then finally we have the Blazing Glory and the Furies. I have the feeling that Blazing Glory is mostly just a Chaos Unaligned, used to be Chaos Unaligned Demon Prince. The Demon Prince doesn't really appear in the book anymore. Like there's no 50-50 millimeter large beast model with fly, if I'm correct. So this is a good option for that. And otherwise we have the Furies. Furies are obviously the old gargoyles, or were they already called Furies? I don't know. Other than that, there's still some more choices in the book, like a Hope Harvester, which is a shooting chariot kind of thing, but then not with a cannon, but with a lot of shots, and there's some other choices that are not that clear what they should have represented. But this is also mostly to just play into the creativity of all the different players that play the game, and to account for all the kinds of different models that more people would like to play, maybe. So there's a lot of great models outside of Games Workshop products also available, especially for demons. There's a bucket load of models that you can browse from. So yeah, always just ask your opponent what it is, and maybe just ask them if there's some representative counterparts of the old Games Workshop days, to make it easier for yourself to understand what models that they used to be. But yeah, it really opens up a lot of modeling creativity for sure. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you the next time.